Let's discuss common mistakes homeowners make when remodeling. Welcome back, everybody, to our podcast where we provide insight, tips, and expert advice on custom home building and remodeling. I'm Sean Coy. I'm the owner and president of SDS Homes Construction, and today we're diving into common mistakes homeowners make when remodeling. You know a little something about this, right?
Yes, we do.
With me today, as always, I have my beautiful, lovely wife and partner, Chantel.
Hi, I'm Chantel. I am the CFO and office manager, and today we are going to discuss the common mistakes that homeowners make when remodeling. So I'm going to jump right in.
Uh-oh. You're eager to get this party started.
Yeah. So number one is skipping the planning phase. This is a very, very important part. I think when homeowners get into their mind that they're going to remodel, they just jump straight into going to Home Depot and picking up some things. And, They forget they need to plan out exactly what they're going to do. What colors are you going to use? What are you actually remodeling? Like, what are you doing inside your home? Sometimes they jump from one thing to another, which can then cause for delays. Right. You start to go over budget when you do that and you don't plan because you just start buying everything. Those are the top two things I think that can really not mess things up, but make things a little harder.
Yeah, more difficult.
Yes.
I mean, one thing that people don't really realize is they say, I want to expand my kitchen. Okay, and they're thinking the walls, maybe push the appliances out. But with that, what are you going to do about the existing flooring that's there that's 20 years old?
Yeah.
You can't just tie into it and they're like, oh yeah, we have to take up all the flooring in the kitchen too.
What about the cabinets?
They
think we can reuse them?
Can't just move them, and they're expected to be the same fit, right? So again, planning is very important in the beginning because these little details won't come up unless you actually talk about them.
Yeah.
Number 2, underestimating the budget.
Almost always done.
Every single time.
Yes.
They think it's going to cost one thing, and they don't account for a lot of the stuff we've talked about already. And then they realize, oh, okay, I didn't know I needed this. I didn't know I needed that. Oh, I need this too and this too. So, underestimating the budget is a big one. We try to bring all that to light in the beginning and let people know, look, it's a remodel, and remodels actually are a little trickier than a custom home build because you're tying into existing house that's been there for 10, 20, 30 years.
And you don't know what you're going to find when you open things up.
Yeah, and you can't x-ray the walls and assume plumbing is good and assume the electrical was done correctly. So remodeling is a bigger, as far as details goes, is a bigger venture than just building a home or building an ADU or something.
Right, yeah.
You're starting from, you're opening up a can of worms, as they say, right? So underestimating the budget is a big one, and we just want to talk about that a little bit.
And number 3, I think ties into this, right, with not hiring the right professionals, which is very, very important. Contractor, sometimes maybe a designer. You'll probably need an architect if you're kind of blowing out a wall or doing something in an addition. And all of those things are very important because that will bring cohesion. You will be able to have kind of your final numbers and be able to bring your budget in and know those things. So they all kind of line up together.
Yeah. Most of the time they want to see what their kitchen's going to look like, before we actually do it.
The 3D action.
Hiring an architect or a designer to get those 3D elements so they can say, oh no, move the refrigerator over here or move the refrigerator over here. I want the stove over here. Actually, that doesn't look good,
Yes.
So that's big, right? And if you don't hire the right person, if you hire, nothing wrong with handyman. I'm not knocking handyman. But if that's who you're going to hire to do your custom cabinetry or blow out, half of the side of your house and hope that, he has the complete understanding of that. Watch out.
That could be hard. And I think sometimes people think that when, hiring a handyman that they could do those things. And usually they don't have a crew. Handyman, usually it's themselves or maybe 1 or 2 people. But when remodeling, it's usually kind of a bigger deal than that. So that could then, doing that, lead to delays and shatter your budget.
Right.
Because by the time that we get there, more often than not, we have to kind of redo things. And
one thing that you have to understand out there is there are requirements for handymen. There's certain things that they cannot do. There's certain amounts they can't charge over, and they are not licensed as far as electrician, plumber, and whatnot. So if it's anything that's going to be inspected or it's per code for an inspection, you better make sure that it's getting done properly. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Number 4, changing the scope mid-project.
Mm.
And again, we're talking about mistakes,
Yes.
right, when it comes to remodeling. So when we're halfway through the project and we've got the design, we've got the layout, and we've ordered the cabinets, and we know where everything's going, and then they come and say, actually, I want the sink to be over there by that window instead.
Or can you make it bigger? But we just framed.
Right.
So,
We have a set of plans here that say this.
yes.
Oh, you can't just bump it out a little more?
Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
Which leads to change orders, correct? So let's say we put a sink and we plumb it and we get everything in, we know where it's going to go, and then they say, no, I'd rather have the sink over here on this wall. Well, now we got to rerun water lines, most likely have to saw cut the foundation to run the drain over there. There's a lot of little things that go on with changing.
It's just money just going up everywhere
Yeah.
right now, right? Because
Right.
all the things you're having to change and redo. So,
Right.
yeah.
So, mistakes when it comes to remodeling is changing the scope mid-construction. So we're saying that now so that they understand, like, okay, I better make sure that my design is right in the beginning, and I love it. And then that goes back to hiring the right person, right professional. If you get that 3D rendering, you get to actually see it and make those decisions ahead of time. Even drawers and cabinets and what type of drawers do you want, all that matters.
Knobs,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because once we start ordering things and we have to go backwards, it's just going to cost you more money.
And your timeline will be extended.
Correct.
Yeah. So, focusing too much on trends and not your classic designs. This is like my pet peeve almost, I think. There's a lot of great and trendy things out there, right, that you can do and use. And I feel like I've mentioned this before, but those trendy things you want to be more in your, like the rugs you use, maybe the wall color, but your big pieces, right, you don't want them to be too trendy, like maybe your faucets or your,
Sure.
your big chandelier lighting, things like that. Your small things that can be switched out and changed are good, but you just want to be careful there because you do always want your home to look like it was just built. If someone walked in, they couldn't be like, oh, that was 1990s.
Right.
Right? Like that's not what you want. So being careful to balance the two, I think. There's some trendy things out there that I love, but it's just balancing the trendy and the timeless pieces together.
Right. And sometimes by the time we're done with the project, because, a big remodel could take 6 months, right? Or more. And by the time we're done with the project, they don't even remember what they had selected. And then they're like, oh, what is that?
Yes.
That's the purple flooring that you wanted with the pink inlay.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't like that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't get too taste specific because then.
And I try to help, right? Obviously.
Yeah, you do. You lead them in a good direction, and if
But
they select something that's a little odd, you kind of nicely tell them, well, maybe you don't want to do that.
Let's think about this.
Let's think about this first. Okay, number 6, ignoring functionality and aesthetics. This one I can sum up pretty easy. Okay, a lot of time people like a look of something, right? Oh, I love this look. They have a dream board. They have pics that they show us, but once it's actually built, it doesn't function how they use it on a daily basis. And again, we're talking about remodeling. So most of our remodels are kitchen and bathrooms.
Yes.
Right? So they don't think about, oh, I got to go from the shower or through the shower to get to the tub because I wanted this giant wet room. I don't really like that because now the tub gets all splashed with water and I have to wipe it down even though I didn't use the tub. So you know what I mean? It looks pretty in pictures, right? And that's a trend right now is wet rooms, right, where the shower and the tub are enclosed in one area.
Yeah.
But they don't think about the functionality of it.
Yeah, that's good. Even when you think about those with children and kids, like they want to put all of these sleek and cabinetry, right? So really modern and sleek. And then they have 2-year-olds. Well, there's going to be handprints all over the place. So thinking about that and those kind of things also play a part.
Right. And that's, again, aesthetically, it looks great.
But does it fit your lifestyle?
But functionality is where you need to be. So this is a good tip for you guys to kind of take into consideration is to, yes, I know these pictures on Pinterest and all these sites look great, even on Instagram and whatnot. I mean, I see pictures all the time like, ooh, that's a nice kitchen. But then I look at it a little closely and I'm like, wait, I wouldn't want my sink to be there next to the oven you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't ignore functionality over aesthetics.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
I think we had a bonus segment that we were going to talk about.
Bonus round.
So we do have some bonus topics. I'll take the first one.
Sure.
Which is the importance of permits, right? So a lot of people ask me, do I need permits for this? California room. Do I need permits for blowing out my kitchen and expanding it?
Absolutely.
So the simple answer is yes, you need a permit for pretty much anything. The county or the city will love to take your money. So, getting a permit for even just changing out your water heater is, they'll take the money for that. But in all reality,
which is not needed.
In all reality, if you're building a structure, you're blowing out a wall, and you're adding square feet to your home, you definitely need a permit, right? You need structural engineering. All that has to go into it. If you're just remodeling your kitchen and changing out your cabinets and maybe a new sink,
no need.
Technically, you don't need a permit.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble on this podcast if the county or the city sees us talking about this. Like, Sean, tell them they need a permit for everything. But the importance of permits, it helps everybody peace of mind. Also, if you go to resell the house, and people say, "Oh, that's a beautiful kitchen addition you did. Is it permitted?" Absolutely. Here you go. Here's the permit.
And what is that going to do for the money you can bring in?
It goes up.
That's right. So all in your favor.
Yeah.
What falls in line with that is how to handle permits, which is good because I just talked to one of our clients yesterday about this. So she was saying it costs this much to go down to the county and handle permits. Can't I do it on my own? I said, absolutely. You can definitely do it on your own if you have the time. Detail oriented. It's not, people think it's so easy, like we just turn them in and that's it. They don't know that we get calls from the county and they ask specific questions and we have to upload things, and which can be done by our clients, absolutely, right? But we are there to help you and streamline and make it easy and something you don't have to worry about.
Right.
But handling permits is a big deal. You need to make sure that you do it correctly and timely. So either we can help you with that, which we offer, or you can do it on your own. But it is an important step.
Yeah, because sometimes they think, it's a small fee that we charge to handle permits for remodels. With the custom home build, that's already included. But there is a lot of manpower, man hours that go into getting a permit. They ask for a lot. There's a lot of forms you have to fill out. There's requirements they need. Environmental department needs this. Fire department needs this. It can be hectic. So we have in-house staff that handles that. So why not utilize our services to give you the peace of mind?
Yeah.
But we do have clients that come back and they're like, never mind, you guys can do it.
Yeah. Yes, I did tell her that. I was like, if you decide to come back, we'll be here. But if you like to handle it yourself, then kind of have at it. But
so those are good. Yeah. Those are good bonus ones. Both regarding permits, right, and the importance of permits, and then as far as handling permits, and that's something that we do as well.
Yeah.
For you guys out there. So, all right. Thank you for joining us again on this episode. Remember, remodeling can be a fantastic investment when done right. And with a bit of foresight, you can avoid these common pitfalls. So take them for what they are. And until next time, happy remodeling.
Yeah.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.